upGrad ना क्लासरूम है, राइट? ना इसमें कोई डिग्री है, एंड फिर भी इतने लोग कर रहे हैं.
Chetan, when we started with upGrad, one we realized that look, in education we have about 150 million people who should be in college today, and guess out of that less than 20-25% people are going to college. So I think in India, if we have to continue growing, it just cannot happen by purely brick and mortar building.
Hello everyone and welcome to Education Evangelist of India Season 3, powered by Great Place to Study. I'm sure you guys will find today's episode very interesting, as we are going to meet someone who's on a mission to revolutionize the way we learn. He's here to build the culture of lifelong learning in India. Our guest is one of the fastest growing stars of the EdTech world. Please join me in welcoming the co-founder and MD of upGrad, Mr. Mayank Kumar. Hi Mayank, so nice to have you here.
Hi, good to be here, Chetan, as well.
And you know, others may not know this, but you're from my college. It's IIT Delhi, where people have gone on to do great things. upGrad is not just like a education story, it's also a startup India story, right? And you are responsible for it. You're one of the co-founders, and you are 37 years old. And now you and upGrad started when?
upGrad started in 2015, so that time I was 33.
Let's just say 2005 till the opening of upGrad. If you could just walk us through that journey.
After IIT, I was in a consulting space working with the Tata Group. Then did my management education from ISB in Hyderabad. I think after that, Chetan, by accident got into the education sector. And education did not happen by choice, but it was more a job after my management education, where I got into working with helping education companies grow, invest in education sector. And post that, I think after putting someone else's money, after advising someone else, at the back of the mind, it was always the thought process, why not do something of your own? And that's where upGrad started in 2015.
And this was along with basically two of your batchmates? They are from IIT Delhi?
So they are from IIT Delhi, but they used to work with me at Parthenon Group. So the three of us knew each other earlier. And our fourth co-founder, Ronnie Screwwala, he came along. I mean, he was also looking at what next after UTV.
Yeah.
And that's where sort of we came together to launch upGrad in 2015.
So Ronnie Screwwala is, he's a personality, a very renowned personality. He founded UTV, he's a film producer. How did you manage to get him as a co-founder?
Ronnie was trying to figure out what are the opportunities in the education sector, because he was looking at what next after UTV, after sort of selling it off to Disney. And health and education were two sort of sectors that he was looking at. So we got connected through a common acquaintance. Conversation went on, he wanted to understand about education, and one thing led to another. He asked me, are you ready to take the plunge to be an entrepreneur? I said no. But I think we started having that conversation, and then post some time we said, look, I mean, there is alignment of thought process, both of us want to achieve the same thing. So why not sort of jump into the entrepreneurial journey? And that's why the journey started from a 3x3 room. And the idea came through that room, and now we are close to about 500 plus people.
These people are mainly in the teaching?
No, so I think teaching and content and pedagogy is one of our largest teams. So about 100 plus people are in that space. We have a very large technology team. It's an EdTech place, so technology, but Ed is first, tech is second. And then we have a very large counseling team, because a lot of people don't understand what kind of programs to take. So those are the three largest teams, mostly based out of Bombay, some in Bangalore, some in Delhi.
It's good you mentioned that. It's not just about education, it's a tech company too. You don't have any classroom.
We don't have any classroom.
Everything is done on the screen, I mean basically on your phone or on your computer or laptop. And in India, education is jao, degree lo.
Yeah, class mein jao.
Class jao, degree lo, diploma lo, qualification banao. तो ये upGrad ना classroom है, right? And फिर भी इतने लोग कर रहे हैं. How would you explain it to a lay person? What exactly is this?
So 2-3 things, Chetan, when we started with upGrad. One, we realized that, look, in education, we have about 150 million people who should be in college today. And guess out of that, less than 20-25% people are going to college. So I think in India, if we have to continue growing, it just cannot happen by purely brick and mortar building. So I think that was one reason why we came into existence. I'll come to the question that you asked. And I think the second very important fact was that all those working professionals today are becoming very quickly, their skills are becoming obsolete and redundant. Let's take an example. When you graduated or when I graduated from campus, there was no role as UI UX developer. There was no role as digital marketer. There was no role as digital producer. All those roles started coming in the last 4, 5, 6 years. We have one of the largest digital marketing team. I did not even know when I was graduating from college that those roles will exist. My son, who's 5 years old, and he will start working in 20 years' time, 50% of the jobs that he would have access to don't even exist today. I think we are living in an era where our parents had one job for 30 years. And in today's day and age, within 5 years, a person has gone through 3 or 4 job changes. And I think the next generation may not even have a job, at a steady job at one point in time. So I think we are moving from a job-based economy to more gig-based economy. And that rapid change of skills is what is causing a huge sort of discomfort in the minds of working professionals. And therefore, for those working professionals, they don't have an option but to find an online opportunity because they cannot leave their jobs, they cannot go back to campus. And thus, for them, upGrad becomes their online university after the university education.
It's difficult. And for those who are watching who may think that this is still something new and something very small and people are still going to, not sure about whether they need it or not, let me just tell you, you're like a 4-year-old company now?
Yeah, 4-year-old company, yeah.
And what is your revenues this year?
We're already at 200 crore revenue.
So 200 crore revenues already for upGrad. And therefore, these are people who are willingly paying and learning and upskilling themselves. Did you expect this kind of a response?
No, I think initially, absolutely not. We were pleasantly surprised. See, when we started, we took a lot of counterintuitive steps. People said online should be free. We said online should be premiumly priced. We said, no, if you want to make a tangible change in someone's career, spend some time with them. I think those counterintuitive steps when we took, everyone called us foolish, stupid in the early days.
Yeah.
And they said, no, nothing will work out. You guys are just trying to be too much of bravado coming in. But I think those steps helped us establishing ourselves meaningfully. By the way, we are also the official learning partner for Startup India's learning program, the Prime Minister initiative. Cumulatively in the last 4 years, we have trained close to 3.5 lakh folks. So I think those elements is what gives us comfort when we started off the journey that we have taken, that ultimately you're not just impacting that person's life, but the entire family lives together along with that.
In fact, we have some video for you, a message for you.
Our courses are created in a reverse engineered manner. We start with the skills that our recruiters are looking for in their employees that they're not able to really get in the market, right? And create those skills. Using those skills, create learning objectives. Using those learning objectives, create assessments and use that to create examples. So that's an elaborate process of reverse engineering that's used to really create our programs.
That's great. Yeah. One of the crucial things in this is finding the right teachers, faculty.
Yep.
Just walk us through this faculty process.
For us, faculty members are great theatre artists. They can go in front of an audience and they can engage with the audience. But to convert them from being a theatre artist to becoming a movie star is fundamentally different. They derive energy from what students say, how do they react. And changing that thought process was challenging. And I think the first step that we took was just defining a pedagogy approach. How do we make sure that a faculty...
So they're basically teaching to a camera. If there's 5,000 people, that energy will come to me.
Exactly.
And if I'm talking to nobody, basically like a machine,
it's difficult
to give that energy. Yeah, absolutely.
I think our first step was to get faculty members trained around this. The second thing that when we thinking about the pedagogy, we realized, why can online not be better than offline? And with that thought process, we said, why do we just need faculty members who are in universities? Why don't we supplement them with industry experts? Folks like you could come in and deliver a lecture, but you would find it very difficult to go to multiple campuses again and again. So can we get some of the leading industry experts and do a jugalbandi with the faculty members from university? So if a faculty member says regression, someone from Flipkart comes and says, how did I use regression in my day-to-day projections? And in that ways, the beauty is you learn a concept, you learn an application, and then you apply it on your own. So we got, from a faculty perspective, we got a lot of faculty members from best of universities from India and globally.
You might have faced a lot of problems setting this up. What were some of the biggest hurdles you faced doing this, and how did you overcome them for benefit of others?
I think the problems never end, but the few big ones that I could put down is, and the first one for us was team. I think we are setting out in an industry that doesn't exist. So just getting the team who can do what we are thinking about for them to do. Pedagogy, we could not find talent, so we had to hire guys from the best of the institutions who had love for teaching. Smart guys who can understand teaching. So I think setting the team was one of the biggest challenge, and I don't think it's going to end ever. But the second big challenge, Chetan, honestly was there's a very strong inertia, sort of letharginess set into every individual. We don't want to spend time, study enough, study hard. So all our learners who would come to us, half of our time would go into telling them, please study more, complete the module.
You became mother.
We became the mothers, yeah.
Actually, before I ask you the next question, we have someone from upGrad who wants to say something.
So,
I'm part of the student success team, and basically we are in touch with the students directly. We keep showcasing learner stories because us as the success team is very close to the learner, so we keep showcasing learner stories to get everyone more connected to the learners that we are serving, all the rest of the teams in upGrad, which has been gone off really well, and I feel that it's a small step in making sure that everyone in the organization feels connected to the learner.
As an organization to work with, I think it's a great place, full of energy, very, very vibrant, very fast-paced with a lot of pressure. So I think someone who really enjoys that kind of an environment and thrives in that, I think this is a great place to be.
That's great. Okay, anything I might have missed or any message you want to give before we end this?
for upGrad, I think our vision, mission and ambitions are more that, look, if we can help an individual, we don't just end up helping that individual, but the entire family around with that. And I think if we continue doing that, in the process of that, help a million plus individual, and that would mean 4 to 5 million folks around that individual's life, I think we would have made a significant impact in the country's journey.
Well, you already have, and I wish you all the best. And I'm sure upGrad will go up and up and up. One last ritual, we just take a picture at the photo wall and I give you a memento. So if you can just accompany me to that. We have come to the end of yet another exciting episode of Education Evangelist of India 2019, powered by Great Place to Study. Thank you for joining us. I will see you in our next episode, where we will meet another stalwart of the Indian education sector. Until then, I'm your host, Chetan Bhagat, signing off.